Hello, and welcome to Audio Tips from a Pro. I'm Neil Kesterson. I've been a professional audio engineer for 40 years, and I've learned a thing or two. I'd like to pass on some of my knowledge to you so that your soundtracks can shine. Let's talk about organizing your tracks. It helps any production, be it recording or live, to follow a basic organized structure. This should be a structure that makes sense to you. I'll explain my own organization methods that I've come up with over the years. You're welcome to steal some or all of them for your own use. Let's first step back a moment and talk about why you should start every production with a plan. Most of the time, you will have some idea of how complicated a project will or won't be. A simple singer-songwriter session with one voice and one guitar may never grow beyond a few tracks, but even it can benefit from organization. The natural way to record multiple tracks would be to record the first performance, in this case the guitar, on track 1. Next we add the singer on track 2. Now maybe we add an effects track like reverb for the guitar on track 3, and for another effects track for the vocals on track 4. Our project is now organized chronologically. One of the problems of this method is quickly finding the tracks during editing and mixing. It may be days or weeks later after the recording session, so the order that the tracks were recorded in mean nothing now. You might even be mixing a session that someone else recorded this way. The way I would organize a project is by hierarchy. Which track is the most important? Put that on top, in this case the vocals. Fortunately, you can reorder tracks in today's workstations and even input channels on digital consoles if you're mixing something live. The next most important element is the backing track, which in this case is the guitar. This would occupy track 2. Visually, it's on the bottom. Musically, it's also on the bottom, supporting the vocals. The effects tracks can be placed wherever they make sense to you. Sometimes I might put the vocal reverb under the vocal track 1. It's visually track 2, but I think of it as track 1A. The same goes for the guitar effect track. Or you could group the effect channels together as tracks 3 and 4 because reverb hardly ever is the main feature. It's even less supporting than the guitar. And you usually don't touch their faders after setting the reverb level. Can you see how I've arranged the tracks? In order of importance. I actually start my recording sessions with this in mind so that I don't have to go back after and do massive reordering. What if we want to add bass to the mix? I'd put it right under the rhythm guitar because it supports. A lead guitar right over the rhythm guitar because during solos it is the most important. By arranging the parts in a logical order or stack, you can then find tracks and faders more quickly. You can also apply this to any other production. I engineer a lot of video projects. I tend to place the music tracks on the bottom, the sound effects on the next layer, the dialogue on top of that, and then any narration on the very top. With these groups, I can create layers as well. If you're mixing live sound, arrange your channels and group faders in a way that makes most sense to you. I sometimes break from my hierarchical approach and go by stage position, left to right. I also do that when mixing live radio or events with multiple guests. One other tool you can use to help organize is color coding your tracks and waveforms. I like to use bright green for the most important track, like solo or narrator. I use olive green for backup vocals or dialogue. I'll use yellow for percussion or sound effects, and I'll use blue for music and a video, or various shades of blue for guitars, keyboards, and so on in a music mix. I hope you found this discussion on track organization helpful and interesting. It really can speed up your process and make life easier for you. Thanks for watching. Have a question or want to suggest a topic? Email me at info@dxaudio.com. I'm the owner of Dynamics Productions in Lexington, Kentucky. Visit my studio website at dxaudio.com. I wrote a book called Push the Right Buttons, a practical guide to becoming and succeeding as an audio engineer and producer. Get a copy or listen to the audiobook at dxaudio.com/book or at most online retailers like Amazon, Audible, Barnes & Noble, Spark, Ngram, and Google Play.